Welcome to another episode of Darif and Island Gal, where we will explore the wisdom and the art of shutting the hell up. I'm your host, Keshavel, and in today's episode, we are diving into the importance of shutting up in our daily lives. In a world filled with constant noise and chatter, it's easy to overlook the value of silence. But here's the thing. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a power tool for communication, self-reflection, and also understanding. Right? And let's get into that. First of all, let's talk about communication. We often think talking is the most important part of communication, but in actuality, it's listening. Listening is just as crucial. When we are constantly talking, we are not truly listening to others. We're hearing them, but we're not actively listening, right? And that's the thing. In order to communicate effectively or to have effective communication, you need to have a sender and a receiver. And during that process, the receiver needs to send the encoded message and the receiver needs to actively listen in order to decode that message so they can respond and respond accurately, right? By actively listening, we show respect, empathy, and openness to a different perspective. And that's another thing too. Sometimes we listen, and because it's obvious that we're not actively listening, we listen to speak, but we don't listen to understand. So we're just waiting on our moment and our opportunity to cut the other person off just to add your 2 cents. That's actually not communicating. Yeah. And we're all guilty of it. I do it sometimes unconsciously. But then when I realize and I catch myself up, it kind of too late become I already start chat, so I just continue. But it's something to be cognizant of. But shutting up isn't just about listening to others. It's also about listening to ourselves. In the midst of our busy day, we rarely take the time to pause and reflect. Like, how much are we really just stop, pause, stop all the mental talk, stop talk to yourself and just be quiet. Just bask in the silence. How many of us really do that? Silence allows us to tune into our thoughts, feelings, and intuition. It is these moments of quietude that we can gain clarity, insight, and self-awareness. Moreover, shutting up can be a form of mindfulness. When we quiet our minds and focus on the present moment, we experience a sense of calm and inner peace. In today's fast-paced world, we are stressed and anxiety rampant. So the ability to find stillness within ourselves is invaluable. And with everything that's happening in our life, work, you have family, social life, everything, social media, we rarely have a peace and quiet. So it's important to, if even an hour, 30 minutes out of your day, just spend that time with stillness, solitude. Now, let's not forget about the power dynamics at play when we speak versus when we choose to remain silent. In certain situations, staying silent can be a strategic move. Like, it allows us to observe and gather information, make informed decisions. As the saying goes, silence is golden. Sometimes saying nothing is really saying everything. Not only that, sometimes we need to shut up because some things are happening in our lives, and my granny would have said everything good for eat, good for talk. Sometimes things are going, we need to just shut them out. Don't talk about it. Don't say certain things. Just shut it. Don't, like your mouth. Keep your mouth sometime, man. Sometimes we even use our mouth as well to put negativity in the universe. We curse ourselves, we curse our children, we curse our situation, we curse our finances, all because we chat too much sometimes. We use our mouth because, as the last episode I mentioned, we don't know the value or the power that lies within our tongue. It's life and death, but it's not something to joke about. It's something to really think seriously about. Sometimes we even find ourselves giving power to the devil in certain situations. Oh, it ever strong. Look how it ever strong. Why are you saying that? Why are you putting that out in the universe? So every little convenience. Why it ever strong? It ever goodie? Like, why are we like that? And sometimes we say some stuff in a joking manner and we really don't know that. Another thing is, sometimes we know some stuff, and just because we know it, we think we're supposed to say it like your mouth. Especially when you're in a workplace environment too. Sometimes I'm not gonna say yes, sometimes you're there at work and some things not burn and you feel like you want to say what you want to say, but sometimes if you just build, just not say nothing, just build. Make whatever happen and done, just build. Just go and observe, just not say nothing. Make the fat lady sing and make it their judgment go. You know what I mean? So now, how can we cultivate the habit of shutting up in our daily lives? It starts with awareness. Notice when we feel the urge to speak impulsively, instead of taking the moment to pause and consider whether your words are necessary or beneficial. Practice active listening in both conversations with others and yourself. And finally, we need to embrace moments of silence as an opportunity for growth, introspection, and connection. Sometimes we need to lock our mouth and whisper a word of prayer in our heart, or have a psalm or a song in our heart and just talk to God. Sometimes, because we love chat, we find ourselves in an idle chatter. And if you read the Bible, you know that there is nothing more that God hates other than a blasphemer is idle chatter. And the Bible also speaks about people who love chat, them a fool. Not in so much words, but that's my interpretation of the verse. But basically that's what he was saying. And people who love to talk, no normally talk things with wisdom. The Bible says if you have wisdom, you lock your mouth. Once again, I'm paraphrasing, so don't take everything that I say word for word. But you can find the verse if you're interested to see what it says. It's in the Bible there. I think it's in Proverbs too. Yeah. So you can go hunt it and find it. You can use the time to be quiet and read the word. So just to wrap up, the ability to shut up is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of wisdom, maturity, and self-control. Can I take a whole heap of self-control for lock your mouth enough time? A whole lot. Especially if you're in an altercation with someone, or you're speaking with someone in authority and they might tell you things where you know so you're not saying, you just want to tell them off. You just want to give them it and pun them. It takes a great deal of strength. But by embracing silence, we become better communicators, more mindful individuals, and ultimately we become more empathetic members of society. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Diary of an Island Girl. Remember that sometimes the most profound insight comes from spaces between words. Until next time, stay silent and stay wise. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please screenshot and share it with us over on Instagram, and don't forget to tag me at I am Kay Chevelle, and I would love to chat with you in the comments about today's episode. And before you go, be sure to subscribe with Diary of an Island Girl podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. If you are an Apple Podcast listener, be sure to give it a 5-star rating and review.